Hello everyone and good morning. Welcome back to my channel. The other day I went to Rexall to pick up a bunch of packages that I will be doing an unboxing for, and I decided, since they had this huge display of Wet n Wild makeup finally in Canada, that I would do a get ready with me / full face of Wet n Wild products, because I have not been able to try any of the newer Wet n Wild products. So I went to Little Bananas, and I did get to use my air miles and a couple of coupons, so this actually was not so bad. I tried to remember every single thing I would need for my face. The only things I missed was an eyeliner, and that's because I had a really hard time choking down almost $10 for a Wet n Wild eyeliner. I'm not going to reference the receipt during the video, but I will put the prices up as I use the products. So the first product I picked up is the face primer from the Photo Focus line. I think that the whole line is Photo Focus at this point. So the claims on this one is it's a magic potion, refines pores, fills fine lines specifically, brightens complexion, and evens skin tone. I've never had a primer even a skin tone before, but we'll see. I'm gonna give it a chance. Hope everyone is enjoying my super red skin, because I just had to chase my dogs around like a crazy person because they decided they were gonna go out and get into a bunch of mud. So I had to give them a quick spray off in the bath. Anything that says it fills pores, I try and press it into the skin, because I feel like that fills it more. Oh, this just makes my face even redder. I did have the green cushion product in my hand for a concealer, and then I must have put it down at some point because I had the peach cushion concealer and I had the green one, and now I only have the peach one. I checked, I didn't pay for it, so I must have put it down. So I'm gonna just use my regular Makeup Forever green concealer because I don't have another option, and this stuff needs to be dealt with. So if you don't know, green counteracts red in concealer, which if you've been around, I'm sure you know, but if you're a beginner, that's what it's for. I have heard tons of things about the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I got the shade Soft Beige. It says, goodbye to photo flashback, helps eliminate white particle reflection. Tested under 7 light conditions with top smartphone models with and without flash. Smartphone models? So it comes with this like spatula, which I don't particularly love. I prefer pumps, but you know, whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. Hopefully this isn't too dark. And hopefully that's not too much. When I was in the store and I was looking at this foundation, I was trying to see the color like outside of the bottle, so I was just pulling the top off. I don't like swatch them or anything because that's gross. But I was doing that, and the entire top container, like the lid, separated on one of them, which was kind of annoying. One thing I'm going to comment on is the pricing of Wet n Wild. This is actually pretty nice. So this applies really very nicely, actually. Back to the pricing, it has definitely gone way up. It used to be between $3 and $4, and now it's between like $5 and I want to say $11, $12, $13. The mascara pack I bought was $11.50, I believe. And compared to what it was before, that's pretty high in my opinion. Like those mascaras used to be $2.99, I think. That's quite the increase. I know that a lot of drugstore brands are going up, and like, as is the cost of life and everything else and all that good stuff, because you know, economy and economics. But like Wet n Wild's whole thing was that they were very, very affordable. So this applied beautifully with very minimal effort. I would say it's medium coverage, not full. I don't believe it specifies on the bottle. I am going to try and deal with my under eye circles with the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Color Correction. This is for dark circles. It's in the shade Peach. It's featherweight finish, ultra blendable, and super convenient. I've never done a tutorial using one whole brand, so this is more challenging than I thought it would be. So the top has this little thing that keeps the cushion pressed down. I just flipped that onto my vanity. Oh, I just did it again. That was like peanut butter toast falling on itself. So I'm going to try and apply this with the little thing that it comes with, the little sponge, and see how that works out for me. I have a ton of dark circles because I get up at like before the ass crack of Dawn's ass crack gets up, which is 4:30, 4 and 4:30. So if this product can contend with these, I'll be impressed. It definitely brightens it up. Definitely brightens it up. It's pretty thin though. I'm not sure how long this will last through the day. And I don't, it looks peach in here, but it really doesn't look peach on my actual face. It looks white, but I'm okay with that. Because that is what blending is for. That's what blends are for. For good times and bad times. I can get this back on the container. That's why I'm not a singer. Oh, Diesel's coming to visit me now because he thinks I'm insane. Hi, buddy. So I had already owned this one. This is the Mega Glow Contouring Palette. And this is in the Dulce de Leche, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, but so be it. This one I think I bought for $4.99 when I did buy it. I use this product quite a bit, and I'm going to just use the setting powder on the one side to set this nonsense on my eyes. Set that cushion. I'm also going to be using this to contour my cheeks, but we have to kind of skip steps around. I also kind of set my nose with it. Hey, buddy. You want to come and say hi in the video again? You like to say hi in the videos. Don't take that. I had a pretty bad breakout up here that's starting to peek back through the foundation. So I'm going to just put a little bit more concealer up there because, you know, I don't want that. I was actually super pumped to have been able to find so much of this stuff. Like super pumped. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, it's mine. I can have it all. Especially the liquid catsuits that everybody had been talking about forever. They finally got here. So in with the Stay Matte powder, I'm going to just powder up my face. The finish of that foundation is also fairly matte. Like there is no dew in my life right now. Which, again, I'm okay with. I'm starting to have my skin change a bit. So for me, I'm perfectly fine with dewy or with matte, but I'm getting the experience now where any kind of dewy foundation is starting to break up on my skin. Just because people seem to like my pineapple rating system of one of my drugstore videos recently, I will also add in my pineapple ratings on all of these at the end. Or maybe I'm going to use a potato this time. It's time for potatoes. Back into the contouring palettes, we're going to use the bronzer to cut this in a little bit. Do that old contour. It's not my favorite color of contour shade, especially with this foundation for some reason, but when I'm a little bit more tanned, this works a lot better. I can still see circles. Another product I didn't pick up because I knew I already had was a blush. So this is the color Icon Blush Trio in Solar Powered, which I can't open. I'm going to use the blush shade up here. I did a review on these ages and ages ago. I know they're not available anymore. I do like certain parts of these trios. I have this one as well as this guy, and this one is the Fair Trade Coffee. This has a highlighter in it. Like, they're clearly very pigmented, almost too much. So we're just gonna go ahead and tone that baby down a bit. I'd actually forgotten to grab this out, so sorry about that. This is the Mega Glow Highlighting Powder, and this is in the shade Precious Petals. Sorry about Athena, she's having a meltdown. They have released highlight palettes with these in them, of those more unique shades, so like the greens and the bright pinks and the blues and purple and stuff like that with the same kind of print in it. When I started seeing these prints coming into their powders, I figured their pricing was going to go up. It's kind of like NYX as well. NYX is trying to rebrand themselves, and I think a lot of companies are, so that they can charge more and compete more in this market that is become pretty intense lately. I really like this highlighter. It is definitely in one of my top 5 drugstore highlights for sure. So my question to the masses out here is, if you were this far into a makeup tutorial and didn't know I was using Wet n Wild, would you assume it was drugstore products? Just by the look of my face, would you assume that, or would you just assume it was like mid-end kind of stuff? Like, look at that. Look how pretty. Some people say I do my makeup in a weird order, but whatever. Makeup is subjective. So far, I'm liking how this is going. The foundation is not even settling into my forehead lines, which I am very challenged with. I can't wait to see how this looks at the end of the day. Next up in my makeup routine is brows, and I picked up this retractable brow pencil in the Ultimate Brow formula, and I got it in dark brown because there was only 3 shades. If I remember correctly, they were light brown, medium brown, dark brown, and I think like a blonde, maybe, so 4 shades. I do wish they would release like an ash black, because that's normally what I use because my hair is black. To use: outline brows, define brows by using the triangular tip to fill in sparse areas. Use spoolie brush to blend for a natural finish. Sorry for the lighting change. I wanted to zoom you in a bit for the rest of the face because it is obviously a little bit more detailed when you get into brows and eye products. I typically don't use brow pencils, so I already know this will not be my favorite. Just to set an appropriate expectation, I'm also not a person that puts a ton of effort into my brows. The formula of this is excellent. It's very, very smooth, and I don't have to press too hard to get the pigment into my brows, but I do not like this triangle shape. It's making it a little bit more difficult to work with than required. I'm not a huge fan of this brow product. It's too much work for not a ton of payoff. Like, the job is done. Whoops, wrong side. But it doesn't look amazing, and it's just not my dip brow. Like, I get compliments about my eyebrows sometimes when I use my dip brow, and I don't see that happening with these. I like it enough that I would use it and use it up, but I wouldn't repurchase it, no. I didn't see an eye primer there, so I'm going to use MAC's Paint Pot, but you can use whatever primer, obviously. Primer is also fairly subjective in my opinion. For example, everybody loves Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and I really can't stand it. I wasn't sure which direction I wanted to go, but these are the 2 palettes that I picked up. This is Rose in the Air, and this is Not a Basic Peach. I'm really attracted to the blue in this one, but I'm also really attracted to these purples in this one. So I may mix them. These also come with instructions on the back, just like the old ones. They have reformulated their color icon. Something else to mention about Wet n Wild that I actually totally forgot about is that they are completely cruelty-free. So I have no nails, so this was the biggest challenge ever. It's sealed here and at the bottom. That was the worst ever. Okay, so Not a Basic Peach. We have 2 transition shades. Looks like 3 shimmers, 1 matte with glitter. Sorry, 4 shimmers because the blue is shimmer as well. This is a matte, this is a matte, and this is a brow bone highlight. I've been kind of staying away from these reviews because I knew I wanted to do one, so I don't actually know what the general consensus is of these palettes. My general consensus is, please make them easier to open. That one went easier once I'd already done it once. So this one has way more matte, so they still have the 2 transitions in the top and bottom here. This whole side is matte, this one is matte. This looks like it's matte, so this only actually has 2 shimmers, and that's it. So if you are a matte kind of girl, definitely between these 2, I would say Rose in the Air long before Not a Basic Peach. I actually kind of like the name of this. It's still a little funny. Not that I can be bought by names. Okay, because I personally like shimmers more than I like mattes, I'm going to use Not a Basic Peach, and I was bought by the name. So I'm going to start with this top transition shade, and I'm going to put that into my crease just to kind of give something for everything to sit against. Do you see the powder kick up from one time? Whoa. Definitely some kick up in this palette. I don't really mind that because to me that just means I'll get through it faster and I'll feel like I'm using my products, which is probably an unpopular opinion. All right, so that's done. Step 2. I'm going to go into the darker transition shade on the bottom, and I'm going to figure out my best laid plans to include that blue, because I've been like really loving blue lately. You know what, I think I am going to be a basic peach and do what everybody would do with that blue and just put it on my lower lash line. Okay, this is skipping a little bit, this darker transition. Not horribly, there's definitely been worse, but there is definitely skipping right here. Taking this like rose gold, goldish type pink, I'm going to put that on a flat shader brush and work that over my lid. Aw, this is disappointing actually. Oh well. So this is not my favorite shade. I have no idea what just happened, but my camera just cut out and I don't know exactly when. Hopefully not after too long. I'm really hoping to speed this up for you guys, so I'm going to do a fairly basic look when it really comes down to it. So I'm going to go into this dark brown shade just to darken up my outer corner. You know what? These shadows are really not too bad. But I shouldn't be surprised because Wet n Wild color icon trios were amazing. So as promised, I'm going to do my last step for my eyes here. This is just a super basic look because I don't want this video to be 10 years long. And I'm going to put this blue shade on my bottom lash line. Alright, so the blue is pretty disappointing. After I sung your praises. So I'm digging my brush in there pretty aggressively and putting it on my lash line. And it is showing up, but just not all that much. Alright, me and my camera are not friends today. We got a dead battery, we got falling over, turning off. What's your problem? Alright, carrying on. So, next step is mascara, and I picked up the Lash-O-Matic. I picked up this one over any of the other ones that they had because this was like kind of different. It's a primer mascara, add fibers. It was also one of their more expensive ones, so I wanted to give it a try. So it says prime with mascara, add lash fibers, and then seal with mascara. So I can just imagine that this is going to be a godforsaken mess. Alright, I'm going to do my best to stay in frame here, so I'm not going to use my actual makeup mirror. I have trouble with mascara. If you've been around, you know this. So I am putting mascara on. So my lashes typically fall. And they don't actually take lengthening mascara to heart. They're just like, no, we don't lengthen, we don't do that. So that's another reason that I wanted to try out this add the fibers thing. So it said the lash fibers lengthen. Oh my God. This is actually furry. Not to make the reference to my unique video again, but what do you know? $11.99 lash fibers. Who would have thought? Oh my God. This is terrifying. This is gonna go everywhere. This isn't lengthening, it's literally just putting fuzz on my eyelashes. I don't want fuzz. Oh, if this, I almost, like, I don't want to make the call now until the last step because that's not really fair. But this has negative 47 potatoes. Like, I want to take the potatoes away and give them to someone else. It's actually putting actual just fuzz. You see it? Oh my God. If I have to have eye surgery after this, it was all for you. So part of the reason I never liked Younique and part of the reason I don't like lash fiber mascaras is because once you put your mascara over top of the lash fibers, which are now just falling off and falling all over my face, they end up back in the mascara container anyway. My potato ratings are obviously only based on a first impression because this is the first time I'm trying most of these. This mascara doesn't look horrible, but I don't like the application, and for how much it is and the result, I'll stick with my $3.99 Lash Princess. Thank you very much. Definitely just pulled out all the fibers that I put on and put them back on my face. So I'm going to see if I can return that because that's yucky. I have two last steps. I'm going to do a lip color and the setting spray. I picked up those as well. The lip liner I'm using is definitely not drugstore. It is a MAC lip liner in Voltage. Yes, I'm cheating. No, I didn't want to pay $11.99 for a lip liner from Wet n Wild. I'm sorry, I just wasn't going to do it. So the shade of Liquid Catsuit I'm going to use is Flame of the Game. Yeah, I'm getting old. I couldn't read it. Which is this shade here. I also bought Berry Recognize and Nudie Patootie. I didn't notice this at the time, but Nudie Patootie was actually open, and I'm a little grossed out because it's got green stuff on it. So I'm going to also see if I can return that. No fault of Rexall's really, and really no fault of mine or Wet n Wild. Somebody opened it and took the seal off and I just didn't notice. Kind of my fault. So we'll see if I can return that. I know these have had crazy, excellent, amazing reviews, so I'm hoping that I like them. I've also heard they're a little drying. I don't typically have that problem with my lips. My lips can take a lot of abuse for some reason before they do anything, so hopefully I like it. These are very pigmented and opaque, and they go on amazingly. I love this color. Okay, so the last product I have is the setting spray. So I picked up the Photo Focus Matte Finish. This guy here doesn't have any explanation on it at all. It does say it's all day wear, so I'm assuming that gives me all day wear. Something I will say, whoops, is I just grabbed my Master Fix from Maybelline. This is $14.99 and it's 3.4 fluid ounces. This is $6.29 and is 1.52 fluid ounces. This is not a good deal price-wise. Unless it like totally blows my mind, the Maybelline is just a better value, unfortunately, because this is overpriced in my opinion. So we're gonna see what the mister is like. The mister is pretty good. Definitely gives a little bit more than you are requiring. Oh good, now I have mascara up here. I'm a mess! So as we let this dry down a little bit, I'm gonna just do a quick potato rating on everything, starting from top to bottom. The primer, I'm gonna give 3 potatoes only because it's just primer. I don't really notice a huge difference with most primers. It did do exactly what my NYX pore filler does, but with a less like silicone feel. So 3 out of 4 potatoes. These are all based on first impressions as well. I will do full reviews on all of these products on my blog throughout the week. Once I wear this down for the day and I do a few more tests throughout the weekend and throughout the week, I will slowly start to post up actual reviews of everything, because putting makeup on your face one time does not indicate a review. Next was the Photo Focus Foundation. Off first impression, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. 2 things I don't like was the applicator, and it kind of smells a little painty. The smell doesn't bother me. I can't smell it on my face, but it definitely is there. But the application is beautiful, and the finish so far is beautiful. The peach cushion, I'm going to give a 3 out of 5 as well. It did the job, but it is already starting to crease on me. I can already see it happening, so I don't love that, but it definitely is still actually covering the dark spots, in my opinion. What is this called? The retractable brow pencil, I'm going to give a 2 out of 5 potatoes. The spoolie is nice, the formula is nice, but I don't like the way it applies, and I just really don't like the shape of the actual product. It's not functional in my opinion. I don't know why we want a triangle with a wide edge to try and do refined work. It doesn't make sense to me. The Not a Basic Peach palette, I'm going to give 4 out of 5 potatoes. Wet n Wild eyeshadows are awesome, and I am not going to rate Rose in the Air because I have not even swatched it yet, but you will see a full review of both with full swatches on my blog throughout this week. My first impression of the Lash-O-Matic mascara is -47 potatoes out of 5 plus 5 potatoes. No, I'm going to return. The liquid catsuits, I'm going to give 4 out of 5 potatoes because I was actually fairly impressed with them so far anyway, on my first impression. Nobody should be that surprised about it, but I am a little bit worried that because this was one was open that it like was turning the wand green, so that's a little yucky. And last but not least, we have the Photo Focus Matte Finish Setting Spray, and it did do a good job of kind of sinking everything into my skin. I'm just doing a final look here, and we're actually looking pretty good. I also like that on the foundation line, there is really none. Even where I blend it down, I normally can kind of see where I've blended it down on most foundations, and I don't see that here. Obviously that's more on the foundation than this, but we are going to say 3 out of 5 potatoes based on first impression, mostly because of the price and the size. This is very, very small. Anyway, guys, let me know if there's any other drugstore brands you would like me to review, and I hope you check out my blog throughout the week to see my final impressions on all of these items. And if you have anything that you think that I should try, or if you think that I'm crazy on this rating, you let me know.